Hello, everyone. This is Serious Trivia, and today we're continuing the first rebellion of Huainan. Let's Talk Lore series with episode 2, titled Wang Ling. Before we get started, here's the answer to our trivia question from the end of our last episode, and be sure to stay tuned until the end of this episode for a brand new trivia question. Now, last time, we ended by introducing the changes in Wei military strategy within the Yang province around the 240s, which gave its prefect, General Wang Ling, a very powerful army at the time of Sima's coup in 249. Now, before we jump into the rebellion itself, we need to properly introduce Wang Ling, who is a very interesting character with a colorful past, as he was first and foremost the nephew of the famed Grand Excellency Wang Yun, who plotted the assassination of the Han tyrant Dongkou. Born in the year 172, Wang Ling was a member of the esteemed Wang gentry clan of Taiyuan, but when he was just 21 years old, when his uncle Wang Yun was killed in retaliation for Dongzhuo's assassination by Dongzhuo's former officers led by Li Jue and Guo Si, the entire Wang clan residing inside Chang'an at the time suddenly came under attack. While almost everyone in the clan would perish in this attack, Wang Ling and his older brother Wang Chen managed to escape Chang'an alive, as they somehow managed to climb over the city walls and sneak their way back to their hometown of Taiyuan. Here, Wang Ling would eventually receive a recommendation through their clan's connections for a government post, which turned out to be the mayor position for a small county called Fagan Xian, located in the Dong commandery of the Yan province. Unfortunately, not long after Wang Ling took this post, he was dismissed for an unrecorded mishap that landed him with a 5-year labor sentence and the punishment of shaving his head, which was a rather serious sentence, as shaving one's hair was just a level below beheading. So for the next few years, Wang Ling lived in disgrace as a bald prison laborer in Fagan until one day, the prefect of the Yan province, who was Cao Cao at the time, came to town on his inspection tour of the province. Hearing that Wang Ling was a relative of Wang Yun, Cao Cao immediately pardoned him for his wrongdoing and made him into one of his personal secretaries. From here, Wang Ling would eventually earn a promotion to become the administrator of the Zhongshan commandery, before eventually returning to Cao Cao's side as an assistant to the prime minister sometime around the early 210s. Wang Ling would serve in this position until Cao Cao's death, which is when Cao Pi made him one of his 8 imperial attendants in order to get to know him better, before sending him off as the prefect of the Yan province in 220. In 222, as part of the eastern front of the 3-pronged Wei attack on Sun Quan, following Sun Quan's refusal to send his eldest son as a political hostage, Wang Ling joined General Cao Xiu in the Dongkou campaign against the Wu forces in Guangling. In what would be his first military action, Wang Ling marched alongside an elderly, sickly, but no less talented General Zhang Liao in what will become Zhang Liao's final campaign in his legendary military career, as Wang Ling and Zhang Liao's forces would attack deep into Guangling against the Wu defense led by Lu Fan. Now, the Battle of Dongkou itself would resolve mostly around a strong gust of wind, as on one particular windy night, a vast number of the Wu Navy were blown out of their dock positions on the south bank of the river towards the north bank, where the Wei forces were encamped. Because of this, Zhang Liao and Wang Ling's troop slaughtered the helpless Wu forces that drifted away along with their ships, as Lu Fan was forced to march his army north to rescue his now stranded fleet. In the fighting that ensued, Lu Fan's army would be defeated, with thousands killed, as Zhang Liao and Wang Ling won the day, and also captured numerous ships from Wu's navy. And if it hadn't been for Cao Ren's blunder at Ruxukou and Cao Xiu's over pursuit of Lu Fan's retreating army with General Zan Ba, the Battle of Dongkou would have been a complete Wei victory. Instead, with the Wei attack stalling out, especially after Zhang Liao's passing to illness and old age, Cao Pi and Sun Quan eventually agreed to terms, and the first major conflict between the Kingdom of Wei and Sun Quan came to an end without any material gains for either side. Wang Ling, however, got a promotion to become the prefect of the Qing province in the aftermath of this campaign, where Wang Ling would be successful in overseeing many rebuilding projects to help bring peace and stability to this province best known for its bandit issues. Then in 228, as part of the Wei Eastern forces, Wang Ling would participate in another one of General Cao Xiu's campaigns, except this time it was the fateful Shiting campaign, where Wei Eastern forces would suffer massive losses after Cao Xiu foolishly and knowingly walked into a Wu ambush. And it was recorded that if it wasn't for Wang Ling and his unit's fierce fighting, Cao Xiu would not have escaped from the Wu entrapment, even though Cao Xiu would still end up dying from a wound suffered in this escape not long after the campaign. Either way, Wang Ling received much praise for his role in the Battle of Shiting, as after Cao Xiu's death, Wang Ling was promoted to become the prefect of both the Yu and Yang provinces and given command of the military affairs on the Wei Eastern Front, a position that Wang Ling would hold for more than a decade throughout Cao Rui's reign. After Cao Rui's death in 239, due to Wang Ling's seniority and experience on the Eastern Front, as Wang Ling was already 58 years old, the new co-regent Cao Shuang decided, instead of trying to replace Wang Ling with someone loyal to himself, he would just try to buy Wang Ling's loyalty with a series of promotions, as Wang Ling did not have any ties to either Cao Shuang or Sima Yi. So, not long into Cao Fang's reign, Cao Shuang would promote Wang Ling first as Zhengdong Jiangjun, or the general who conquers the east, and give him full independent military authorities in the Eastern Front, as well as full control over all military matters in the Yang province. In this position, Wang Ling would orchestrate the defense of Shouchun in the Battle of Quebei against the Wu Dadudu, or Grand Director of Officers, in Quancong. Now, the Battle of Quebei took place southwest of Shouchun and lasted for multiple days. And in this battle, Wang Ling would command the Wei Eastern forces to arrive just in time to reinforce and rescue Sun Li, who was the Wei prefect of the Yang province at the time, located in Shouchun, before successfully pushing back Quancong's attack, defeating the Wu army, and killing over 10 Wu officers headlined by General Qin Huang. And for this victory, Cao Shuang would award Wang Ling the nobility title of Marquis of Nanxiang, or Nanxiang Hou, with the annual tax allowance of 1,350 households. Furthermore, Wang Ling would be promoted to Cheqi Dajiangjun, or the Grand General of the Chariot, which is equivalent to a Grand Excellency position, and thus allowed Wang Ling to form his own personal court. In 248, Cao Shuang would promote Wang Ling once again to become Sikong, or the Grand Excellency of the Works. And naturally, given Cao Shuang's repeated promotion of Wang Ling, it indirectly tells us two things. One, Cao Shuang trusted Wang Ling and saw him as an ally. And two, even if Wang Ling didn't see himself as a political ally to Cao Shuang, he at least felt indebted to Cao Shuang for all these promotions. And it was through this connection that when Sima Yi shamelessly went back on his own oath to spare Cao Shuang's life and executed Cao Shuang not long after his coup at Gaopingling, that Wang Ling would first begin to make plans for his rebellion against Sima Yi and the Sima-controlled Wei court. And to find out the details of Wang Ling's plan and how Wang Ling was uniquely connected to be a real threat to Sima Yi in this region, come back next time as we'll continue this series tomorrow with episode 3 titled Wang Ling's Plot. So hopefully you all have enjoyed this episode enough to consider subscribing to the channel for more content on Three Kingdoms history, or simply support the channel by leaving a comment below or just by hitting the like button. And as always, I'll see you all next time. Bye!